philosophy of money is more important than your amount of money. Can I show you real quickly some notes from my finance class that I teach at Coffee Talk? Can I do that real quick before I get back to preaching? Can I just teach a real quick lesson? Well, not real quick, but quick. You see, finances and financial philosophy comes down to dependency. We've got those notes ready? Financial philosophy is defined by dependency. And that comes back to an issue of simply saying, who depends on me? Who's depending on me? Financial morality gets back to who's depending. Is my spouse depending on me? Is there something in my spouse's life? I know there's a lot of two-income families, and so don't think I'm archaic, but is it my spouse? Is it my kids? And I say, is that older, feebler me? You know, take these notes. Is that person depending on me? What about my church? Do they depend on me? Well, they probably do. Missionaries? What about potential people that would receive my generosity? Are all these people receiving a fair shake from me? How important are the people? This is what I asked my finance class. How important are the people who depend on you? And is your financial philosophy faithful to them? Am I being faithful to those people that are depending on me financially? Am I being faithful to those people? Now take a second, scribble those notes down and figure that out. So the first question is, who is depending on me? Now the second question is, who am I depending on? Who am I depending on? Am I depending on myself or am I depending on God? And that is the fundamental issue. And here's one of those truths where you have to wrestle with this and say, what's going on in my life? Am I depending on God? Almost everybody who hears this is a believer say, oh, well, I will depend on God. I'm going to trust in God. But you see, to depend on God, there is this issue of giving. You can't depend if you don't worshipfully give. That's point 5 of this sermon. Look what Proverbs says. Let's bring that one up. Proverbs. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits. That's the part you give before you spend any money on anything else. The first fruits of your crop. Now, if I could, I would circle that word then. Then. You know what it means? God said, honor me with your first fruits then. Because when you honor me with your first fruits, you have expressed dependency upon me. You have not depended upon me until you've honored me with your first fruits. Then your vats will be brimming over with your barns will be filled to capacity, and your vats will be brimming over with Diet Coke. It is the then that is the claiming of the promise of God. When I have honored God through giving my first fruits, then God causes my barns to fill up and my vats to brim over.